What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got a little whiskey poured up right now. Happens to be this little single malt scotch from Highland, region of Scotland. It's Deanston 12. That's what we're gonna get into today. Got some Deanston 12, guys. I've been waiting to do this review for a while. It's actually one of my favorite scotches, actually. It's a 12-year scotch from Deanston Distillery. Look at the bottle right there. Nice little cork. I mean, this thing has a metal, kind of brass emblem on top that actually looks like a coin. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so this came from Deanston Distillery. Fairly newer to the whiskey game in general. When I say newer, I mean it started out in 1785 as a cotton mill. So they only became a distillery in 1966. So new for whiskey, I guess. It wasn't like they were just popped up in the 2000s like one of the bourbon distilleries or anything. But for scotch, I mean that's fairly new for scotch. 1966. It is non-chill filtered, uncolored whiskey. As nature's intended to be. That's how it is. It's a 12-year scotch. It's all ex-bourbon cask, no ex-sherry or anything. Just ex-bourbon. Color's nice though. We'll get right into it. So coming off, like it's got the typical like fruity notes that that a scotch would have, but it doesn't have like those like heavy sherried winey notes like the like berries or anything like that. It's ex-bourbon, so you're getting vanilla. It's definitely got a little caramel, but it comes off like a butterscotch because it's used oak. Butterscotch toffee. It's got a little citrus hit to it. Say citrus like it's like a sweet and sour. It's almost got like a ginger note to it. Maybe like a grapefruit citrus. It's a very complex whiskey for a 12-year whiskey, for a 12-year scotch. It's one of my go-to scotches. I always have a backup bottle in the cabinet, but just haven't gotten into a review on it. But there's so many notes to it. It's a complex whiskey. It's a lot to pick out, even just taking a whiff of it. I mean, just on the nose with the scents and the aromas and all just wafting off the whiskey. It's a lot of stuff to it. A little nuttiness in there. It's got oak, but it's like in the background. It's playing like second fiddle to all the kind of like ex-bourbon cask notes. All right, guys. Let's get into the flavor. Man, every time I come back to this one, I love it. So, definitely that toffee right off the bat. I say it doesn't have fruits, but it's kind of like got that apple and pear, light, kind of really lighter fruits like an apple or pear, but it's not like dark berries like you would get from like a heavy sherried whiskey. You almost get you almost get a ginger note with that. Also, it's like the sweet and sour. You get like a little citrus hit to it. Wow, creamy though. Really creamy. Almost like a vanilla cream whiskey. Finish goes on for a while. Like oak comes in like mid-palate. You start getting all that sweet notes right up front. You get all the little bit of the light fruit, toffee, vanilla right up front. Almost like a vanilla cream. And then it goes into like this oak. The spices hit like mid-palate. And then it lingers on to a nice long finish. Like it's still rolling, like good flavors in that whiskey. You do get some oak. For most scotches, you don't get a whole lot of oak from like a lot of like younger whiskeys. But and this is a fairly, like, it's not an old scotch. I mean, it's a 12-year, so it's not an old scotch. It's lighter, but you're still getting a lot of oak from it, and you're still getting a pretty decent finish. I'm telling you, that vanilla cream on there is so good. So this is one I'd recommend for like a lot of bourbon guys. Just getting into scotch, that'd be one right there. Deanston 12 all day. Like, you're getting a lot of bourbon notes, but you're not getting like, I know bourbon drinkers, you want that oak. You're getting new oak. You got to have that oak tannins. You're getting a little less oak tannins. So if you've been drinking a lot of oaky whiskeys, you've been getting that real oakiness, you want to try something a little different, a little lighter oak, but still got the bourbon flavors. But it's going to be different. Obviously, it's single malt. It's malted barley. It's not corn. So it's going to taste different from a bourbon, but it's got a lot of the same like bourbon characteristics with the vanilla, kind of like caramel toffee. I would say it's more toffee than caramel, but it's like a toffee butterscotch. But it's great. A little nuttiness in there that you would get from most bourbons. But it's really good stuff. I mean, the finish is, I'd say it's a very lengthy finish. For a 12-year-old. And then, I mean, Deanston, they got a Deanston 18, but I mean, it's up there in price. When you start getting over a 12-year scotch, prices go up a good bit. But I imagine 18 would be great. I've never had Deanston 18. That's on my list to actually pick up. But figured I'd pop out a little review because, I mean, last day off before work, I got a cigar calling my name, and I just wanted to get this one in because I've been looking to do this Deanston 12 for a while, and just to kind of get that out there. And I love the whiskey. So, Couyons review, going into the ratings on it. Couyons rating. God, man, this is so good. Price point on it. Let's talk about that. $64 is what you could pick it up for, and you're gonna find it in most like specialty whiskey shops. Any kind of like liquor store that sells wine and like high-end whiskey. But $64 is not bad compared to what you would pay for a lot of bourbons nowadays. For a 12-year scotch, you're looking at $64. That's a really good price for that. And that's not even the Deanston's budget. They sell like a virgin oak, which runs in the $40-something range if you just want to try get the taste of the Deanston distillery and what their initial characteristics are without any kind of super age to it, because I think the virgin oak is a non-age statement. So you're just going to get like the characteristics and the character of the distillery, but you won't get like maybe the finish. They probably won't have the same finish as the Deanston 12, but I mean, those are out there. I've seen that one at the virgin oak was actually at Hocus Pocus when I went to Hocus Pocus in Baton Rouge a while back, but you'll see them here and there. So it's a great value for $64. With that being said, I mean, with that price and how great the whiskey is, with just the complexity of it, the finish is great, all the flavors are great, good creamy flavor that's just like, it's something you could just sit around and drink all the time. Really light, if any smoke at all. I don't even know if it's peated. It's like considered really a not peated whiskey, but it does have like, you know, it tastes like scotch, but it's not like completely unpeated, I wouldn't say, but you don't taste any smoke to it. So easy 8 out of 10. Even it will push out to 8.25 on some nights when I'm sipping. I'm like, damn, like I'll forget how good that stuff is. But 8 out of 10, bare minimum 8 out of 10 on that one. Great whiskey. Definitely recommend if you ever see it in you know, if y'all scrolling around, you see it on the shelf, definitely. I would definitely give that one a try. But that's it, guys. We'll see you guys in the next review. Hit that like button. Check us out for the next videos, guys.